What's going on, guys? Manny here, back with another video for you guys. In this video, I'm bringing you guys 10 battles of my Go Battle League from ranks 4 through 5, featuring a full Shadow team. And I've just been having fun with this team. So without further ado, let's just get straight into the battle. So as always, I will have the teams on screen with the movesets. It's going to be Shadow Zapdos, Shadow Hypno, and Shadow Machamp. And this team is very fun, but also very fragile. But anyways, as you can see here, we get the Dugong lead, which is also a good and bad thing because obviously Ice type is going to be super effective against Zapdos. So I switch into my Hypno here, they switch into Meganium, and I try to go for a Shadow Ball, but they actually beat me to the charge move. So I will be able to survive this Frenzy Plant. It's going to do massive damage, but so will the Shadow Ball if it goes unshielded. So we're going to go ahead and launch the Shadow Ball here, and it does go unshielded. And because of that, I'm going to be able to farm down the Meganium here. So I do have a Thunder Punch ready, fully expecting Dugong to come back. So I'm just going to go ahead and launch that, and most likely I am going to get the shield, which I do, and then they're going to farm me down. So here, obviously, we're going to wait out the clock, or I should have waited out the clock. I don't know why I didn't, but go straight into Machamp. Going to shield to this Icy Wind, even though it's not super effective, it is going to do massive damage since I am Shadow. They switch into a Azumarill, so I'm going to go and retaliate, switch back into Zapdos here. And once again, they do not decide to shield, and you saw that Thunderbolt did massive damage. And I'm just going to be able to farm down the Azumarill there. Going to go ahead and launch this Drill Peck, which I'm almost guaranteed is going to get the shield here. And it does. And I'm just going to do whatever damage I can. They farm me down, but I do have a shield, and Machamp is obviously going to be super effective against this Dugong. So pretty much this is GG's for my opponent. So plus I was able to beat them to cross shop anyway. So yeah, so again, this team is super fun. If you have access to these three, I would highly recommend trying them out. You do have to just realize that Shadows are super squishy. They're such glass cannons. So as you can see here, against the Abomasnow, all those Powder Snows are doing super effective damage to me, to my Zapdos. As you can see, my Zapdos is basically almost at half health already. So, but I was able to get the shield from the Drill Peck, so I go ahead and shield it in turn. I have the switch here ready to go, but for some whatever reason, I don't know if it's just me, if it is for you guys as well, when you try to switch, it just doesn't register for whatever reason. So unfortunately, that's what happens. It happens a lot more than it should, to be honest. But so you can see there, I got both shields. I switched into Hypno here because I know for a fact if I would have switched into Machamp, they would have switched out to most likely something that Machamp can't handle. So I decided to go Hypno, and I was right. As you can see, they probably would have switched into that Azumarill there. So, but because I did have the energy, I'm gonna go ahead and launch a Thunder Punch here, and trying to get to another one, which I'm able to. But this actually won't KO the Azumarill, and I just try to farm down to see if I can take out the Azumarill here. But they are able to get to a charge move. So this is gonna knock out my Hypno, which is fine. I'm gonna go ahead and bring him a champ here and just farm down the Azumarill here and just see what they bring it now. So if they have a flyer, this is pretty much over. But as you can see, they're debating on what they want to do. They're bringing a Abomasnow, which is a good call. Gonna hit me with a Weather Ball, which won't take me out, but they do bring in the Galarian Stunfisk. So because I do have built energy there, I'm gonna go ahead and launch this Cross Chop. It's going to do super effective damage, and then I'm going to switch and catch the Rock Slide. So if I didn't get the switch in there, this would have been GG's. So obviously sacrifice my Electric Chicken there and just farm down the Stunfisk and then launch the Cross Chop on the Abomasnow. So another GG's to my opponent. Again, team is very fun. Again, if you have Shadow Machamp, I would highly recommend using it in Great League. Just give it a try. It's a lot of fun. So GG's to my opponent again. Going on to the next battle here, and I believe this is where they lead with a Stunfisk, if I remember. Nope, Wish Cash. Okay, so this is a decent matchup. Zapdos does lose this overall because even though Mud Bomb isn't super effective, it is going to be hurting. So, but I do get the Drill Peck off, which is surprising, and I switch into Hypno's. Hypno's basically kind of like my safe switch here. So these Mud Bombs again are going to be doing a good amount of damage, even though they're not super effective at all to Hypno. So they do get off 2 there, and basically I'm just going to farm down the Wish Cash here. So I now have Thunder Punch and Shadow Ball ready to go, and they bring in the Marowak here. So I decided just to go for the Shadow Ball to see if they shield it, which they don't, which is awesome. So now I'm basically pretty much going to be able to farm down the Marowak as well, but I decided just to not shield this because wouldn't have been wouldn't have been worth it in the end. So I'm gonna bring back the Zapdos, farm down the Marowak here, and then they have a Azumarill in the back. So this is pretty much GG's. I build up some extra energy here. I go for a Drill Peck just because I know they're gonna shield this. So I'm just gonna launch that to get the shield, and I do the exact same thing. So I go double Drill Peck to get both shields here. So, and then I believe I'm going to be able to actually get to a Thunderbolt here because I do have 2 shields myself. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this first Ice Beam, which obviously would KO. And yeah, it's going to be GG's here because again, these Thunderbolts from Shadow Zapdos are just insane amount of damage here. And yeah, so rest in peace, Azumarill. So going on to the next battle here. Is this where Galarian Stunfisk is in the lead? Because that is a problem for me. Nope, it's Azumarill. Alright. Guess I can't remember my own battles here, but yeah, so this matchup can go either way. If they decide to shield or not, yeah, I can turn the matchup here. So I just decided just to go straight Thunderbolt, see if I can get the shield, which I don't. As you can see, it just one-shot that Azumarill. So I'm going to go ahead and just decide to go for another Thunderbolt since they didn't shield the first one, but they are going to shield this one here. I should have just gone for the bait, but it is what it is. And here they're building up to double Sky attacks, which is a little insane here. But I'm gonna go ahead and launch another Thunderbolt, which they once again are gonna shield, which is completely fine because they still have it on the back. So even if they decided to, launch a charge attack, that's fine. Go for a Drill Peck here, which does a decent amount of damage. And as you can see, just on the charge attacks or the fast attacks alone, Zapdos was just doing stupid amount of damage. So they're gonna go back-to-back Sky attacks here, which is completely fine. I shield the first one, and I'm gonna let the second one go through. And basically, I'm gonna be able to farm down the Skarmory here, and I still have a shield as well. So, and then my opponent just ends up quitting. So, whatever they had in the back was probably just weak to Hypno in general. So, going on to the next game, we got the Cherrim lead, which can be good and bad. Cherrim again is it's a good threat to a lot of Pokemon. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this Weather Ball, which would have done a good amount of damage. So I'm just going to go ahead and straight Drill Peck, expecting them to shield since I shielded as well. And they do. I'm going to go ahead and switch into Deoxys. I'm going to go ahead and switch into Hypno. And this matchup can go either way as well, since these Rock Slides again will add up. So there's the first one, does a good amount of damage here. Building up to a Shadow Ball and just launching the Shadow Punch, hoping to get the shield. Or the Shadow Punch, the Thunder Punch, hoping to get the shield, which I do. And now I'm in a good position here where I should be able to shield and get to a Shadow Ball and take out the Deoxys here. So I'm going to go ahead and shield the Rock Slide, and then just launch the Shadow Ball to take out the Deoxys here since they have no more shields left, which does take it out. And then they're going to bring back in the Cherrim here, and they're going to go for the Weather Ball. So this should take out the Hypno, if I remember this correctly. Yeah, so... well, I survived it barely, but yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and bring back in my Shadow Zapdos and go for a Drill Peck, which will obviously KO the Cherrim here. So, goodbye Cherrim, and then they have Azumarill in the back. So here I'm actually going to be able to get to the Thunderbolt, which again is going to do an insane amount of damage for the Shadow Boost attack there. Pretty much almost one-shots the Azumarill, and I'm going to be able to take this Ice Beam here and just farm down Azumarill. So, yeah, so even though it does hurt, again, it didn't really matter there. So going on to the next match here, I believe this is the Toxicroak lead. Yeah, so this lead, Toxicroak is kind of scary for this team. Obviously, I have Hypno to cover it, but if they get rid of Hypno, and I have no shields, Toxicroak is a viable threat to me. So I'm going to go ahead and launch the Drill Peck, which they are going to shield, obviously. And then I do switch into Hypno here, and they go for the Mud Bomb. So I was able to catch the charge move, which is great. But again, Mud Bomb still does a decent amount of damage. And they switched it out after they already took one Confusion, which was, I feel like they should have switched out immediately. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this, I believe it's Ice Beam. Yeah. To the Ice Beam, and then build up to double Thunder Punch, and then launch the Shadow Ball here. See if I can get a shield, which I don't, which is awesome. So now I'm able to throw a Thunder Punch here. And I believe they let this go as well. No, they shield this one. But I should be able to farm down. And here I decide if I want to save Hypno or not. And I do. So I do shield and just commit to the farm down here. Because I know they have Toxicroak in the back. And and they decided to bring in Umbreon, so which is completely fine because I do have Machampus here. So they'll launch the Thunder Punch, does a decent amount, nothing to really write home about. They bring back in Toxicroak here, but I am going to obviously get the Cross Chop off, which is going to almost take out the Toxicroak, but now I'm in a good position where this Foul Play actually won't KO me. It'll do a good amount of damage, or Last Resort, sorry. Does a good amount of damage here, but as you can see, I'm still able to get to a Cross Chop. So I think the better play for them would have been to go double Foul Play. But I mean, I still had basically a full health Zapdos in the back. So GG's to that opponent here. Going on to the next one. We have, who do we have here? We have Deoxys. Okay, Deoxys again, another scary lead just because, again, Rock Slides obviously will do a ton of damage to Zapdos. They're pretty much going to one-shot it. For the most part, though, I seem to always be able to get a Drill Peck off first. I don't know if most people, it's mainly because of the CMP. Almost lost my train of thought there. But yeah, so they go ahead and switch into Galvantula. Now this is a Pokemon that is very scary if used correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this Lunch because obviously it's going to be super effective. And we're going to launch a Thunder Punch here, which obviously would do neutral overall, but they do shield. So but basically here I'm going to commit to the farm down. So I am going to shield here. And since I did hit the Thunder Punch, it is going to go off as well. So, which is one thing that I wish didn't happen. And as you can see here, I actually decided not to charge it because I was expecting them to shield. But I was able to farm down anyway. So I go ahead and bring back Deoxys. Go for a Thunder Punch here, which this will do, which I believe does get shielded here, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So, but yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead, bring in Machamp here. Machamp will be able to survive either Rock Slide or Thunderbolt. Obviously, Psycho Boost would have sucked for me, but they do and switch to Zerbolt, catching the Cross Chop, which is a very nice play. But since they have no shields, I'm able to just go into a Zapdos, and I overcharge a little bit here, just so I can get both my moves and then half of a Drill Peck. So I go ahead and launch Thunderbolt, obviously takes out a Azumarill, and then I go ahead and launch the Drill Peck for the win on the Deoxys. So again, a very fun team. Highly recommend it if you guys have access to these. Obviously, you'll have to fast TM your Shadow Zapdos, but again, definitely worth it in my opinion. So going on to the next battle, we have the Cherrim lead again, and basically how this works. If this Drill Peck goes through, it's just going to one-shot the Cherrim, and they let it go through. So yeah, Shadow Zapdos does not like to mess around when its moves go through. So they bring in a Azumarill here. I know he can get to a Thunderbolt, which I just go straight Thunderbolt for. Since they didn't shield the first time, I was maybe thinking, maybe I'll get lucky and they won't shield the second time, but they do, which is pretty obvious. So here, I do get to a Drill Peck, so they are building up to a minimum of 2 Ice Beams if they are running it, and they don't shield that one. So I decided to go ahead and shield this one here, which again is the Ice Beam, and then build up some extra energy here, and then switch into my safe switch again, being Hypno, and then they switch into Skarmory, which is awesome since, I'll be able to survive a minimum 2 Sky Attacks if they go back to back. So I'm just go ahead and launch Thunder Punch, but they don't shield. Obviously, no need to shield the Sky Attack, because it'll hurt, but it won't KO. I'm gonna go ahead and not shield that, and launch the other Thunder Punch. So this will do massive damage, or I'll get his other shield here. So he decides not to shield, then I'll be able to actually farm down. So pretty good on my part. And surprisingly, I almost got to another Thunder Punch there, which is fine. I'm obviously going to shield this Ice Beam here, and then I'll be able to farm down on his Azumarill for the win. So yeah, I feel like they should have shielded that Cherrim, because Cherrim is actually a pretty good threat to me. So here we have the Obstagoon lead. Obstagoon is another scary Pokemon as well, just because obviously it's a great counter for Hypno. But again, if played right, I'll be able to pull this out. Go for the Drill Peck once again, and the shield, so I go ahead and shield as well. I tried to switch into Machamp, but again, that weird switch glitch just still happens. So and they do get the attack boost, which is not good. A attack boosted Obstagoon is a very scary thing. So I do shield there, and then I switch into Machamp, which I do not shield this. I expect this to be Night Slash, but it was a cross chop. I was able to survive it. And then I'm actually able to get to a Rock Slide here, which is awesome, because this will actually do a good amount of damage to the Azumarill, being it coming from a Shadow Machamp. So they have no shields. I decided to bring in Hypno and basically just farm up as much damage as I can. They go for a Play Rough, which does a decent amount of damage. And at this point, I decided just to go and straight up use Thunder Punch, because I know that I wasn't able to, or I wouldn't have been able to get to 2 Thunder Punches before they get to another move. Here they bring in the Obstagoon once again. And I decided to shield this, expecting it to be Night Slash, which I would obviously KO. The only reason I shield is because I had the Thunder Punch ready. So, go ahead and launch the Thunder Punch here, which doesn't even knock out the Obstagoon, but was surprisingly just farmed down. And then they have the Alolan Marowak, and I thought I was done, but surprisingly, I'm going to be able to actually get to 2 Drill Pecks here. So there's the first one, and then I got the second one, which will take out the Alolan Marowak. Alolan Marowak is another Pokemon that is very scary in Great League, especially against any type of Shadow. So, but yeah, so going on to the final match of the video here, going to have the Stunfisk lead. I don't know why this was going to be earlier on in the video, but yeah, so Stunfisk, again, a very dangerous Pokemon, just because it can basically one-shot again my Zapdos here with Rock Slides if that would have connected. So I'm basically just building up a ton of energy here, and then I switch into Hypno, because I know for a fact if I would have switched into Machamp, they would have had something to answer for it. So that's why I like Hypno as my safe switch. But yeah, so they do get double Rock Slides on, which is not a good thing, but I decided not to shield because I didn't want to waste both my shields immediately, and I go straight for the Shadow Ball, hoping to get a shield or do massive damage. They do shield it, so now we're tied for shields, and at this point, they're just building up some extra energy here. I did have the Thunder Punch ready, but I decided not to shield because that would have been a waste on my part. And yeah, so here's where I actually am going to bring in Machamp to do, obviously, super effective damage to see if I can get them to switch out. And they decide to stay in, but I am going to shield this, because I was expecting an Earthquake, but it is a Rock Slide, so here they bring in Galvantula. Again, Galvantula, another scary Pokemon, especially with the new lunge move it's gotten. So I go for a straight Rock Slide, but because I did over farm with Zapdos, I'm able to go basically double Drill Peck here, which they do end up switching into Seismitoad. And this here is where it's a little weird, because they easily have enough energy to go for Mud Bomb or Muddy Water, which would do a good amount of damage, but they don't, which is really weird. So I'm able to knock out Seismitoad, and then I'm going to be able to finish off the Stunfisk with the Machamp, which, yeah. So I don't know what my opponent was thinking there. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and give this team a try. Let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.
Through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And